Hey, this is Bob from 12th Floor Solutions back again, this time clean shaven and ready to show you how to apply a theme to a classic team site or a modern team site. I know there's a lot of demos out there to show you how to do it, but this is the first one to show you how to do it on the classic and the modern, so you can look at how both are done. They're both done a lot differently, so it's important to know the differences. So let's get started.
Okay, the first thing you're going to need is the SharePoint Color Palette tool. You just Google it, you'll find it on the Microsoft site, and you download it, and then you can get started. We already have it installed, so we're just going to open it up, and what you'll notice on the left-hand side are the color buckets. Those buckets represent the different elements and how they and what colors each one have. So if you order it by the buckets, you'll notice that if you expand it, you can see all of the areas where that color is used. On the top, you'll see the layouts. So you can toggle between the two main layouts, Seattle and Oslo, and those just show you what they'll look like. If you go to the contrast test option, you'll notice that it will show you all of the different foregrounds and backgrounds within the SharePoint site. So you can get an idea of how well your text is going to look on background colors. And then the UI preview shows you all of the elements that are related to the SharePoint site. So buttons, links, headers, tiles, background colors, and form controls. Now we're going to open up our logo and we're going to pull out a couple of colors from our logo, which really will give a nice custom look to the site. We're only going to focus on two colors. For us, we have an orange color that's going to act as our accent color, and then we have a dark blue that's going to work as our anchored color. That's going to be the main colors with the sweep bar and the tiles and so forth. So first we'll focus on bucket 3. Within bucket 3, we're going to start by putting the dark blue color, and that's going to shape out the site and be the anchored color. So you can see it's already changed the sweep bar, the tiles, and so forth. Second we're going to do is the row accent within that bucket, and we're going to make that our secondary color. And the reason for that is just to give a little bit more depth to the site. So when users are selecting items within the site, they'll start to see that second color coming out, and it creates a really nice accent to the site when you're selecting and navigating items. Next place where we're going to focus is in bucket 7. And in bucket 7, we're also going to use that secondary color, but this time with a transparency so that you have the full color as the selected row and then just a nice lighter version of that to highlight the item. Okay, you can see the example there. And if you toggle to Seattle, you can see what it looks like there as well. So you can already start to see what the site's going to look like with those two particular colors within your palette. Okay, again, if you go to the UI preview, you can start to see what all of the controls are going to look like just by making those simple changes. Okay, we're going to flip back to Oslo, and then now we're going to focus on bucket 8. And within bucket 8, we're going to make that the orange as well. And what that's going to do is it's going to change some of the highlighting when you're hovering on items. So far we've only changed a couple of entries in bucket 3, bucket 7, and bucket 8. And the last bucket we're going to change is bucket 14. And 14 is going to be that orange as well. And then you'll start to see certain areas on the page start to light up with that secondary color. So everything's kind of going to be that primary color, that dark blue, but then we've handpicked some areas that we're going to start using that secondary color. Okay, once that's done, that's really what we want to do. We're going to save it as an SP color file, which is basically just an XML file that defines all of those colors you've selected. So you can see here, I've opened up the save as. I've just named it custom theme, and it's an SP color file. Don't change the extension or anything, just click save. And now it's on your file system and you can start to apply it in the SharePoint site. Okay, let's open our SharePoint site. And now we're going to apply that new theme that we've created. So this is just your run-of-the-mill classic looking SharePoint site. It's on SharePoint Online, but it's your classic look with your classic colors. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to we're going to make it fully custom look. So we're going to change the title and we're going to change the logo. That's a good starting point when creating a site. For you probably already have your title and your logo there, so you might not need to do this, but we're going to set ours up so that it's got that. So I'm just going to navigate to the logo, and then I'm going to click OK. And then once this closes, then I'll click OK again, and then that's going to be the starting of our site. All right, you can see it there, pretty standard stuff. Okay, now it's time to apply our new theme. So when you go into the theme file, theme folder, you can see that it's showing you all of the font schemes and palettes that are already on the site. So this is where we're going to upload our custom palette called custom theme.sp color. And then once it's uploaded, then we can start to refer to it within our custom look. So you can see it's already uploaded. And now we can go in and set up our custom look. So I'll go back to site settings. And then within here, you'll click on compose looks. And then you'll see all of the built-in ones already. When you create a site, you get all of these options. So we're going to set up a brand new one. Click new item. And then here's where you'll put in the name of your custom or your custom look or composed look. So we'll just give it a title, and then because name's required too, we'll put both title and name in, just as the same. And then this is where we'll use some of the default master page. Because we don't want to go crazy with customizations, we just want a nice, simple custom look. We're going to use the default master page URL. But this is where we'll actually use our own custom theme URL. And that's what we just finished doing in the SharePoint Color Palette tool. So I'll just put that in there. But then I'll just change that to the name of our custom file. So custom theme.sp color. And then we're not really worried about image URL and font. We'll just click save. And then it will show up there. You'll see it right down at the bottom there. Now we'll go back to the home page, and this is where we can change the look to something else. So click on the gear, change the look, and then if all went well, we'll see it within this listing here. So just scroll down, there it is, 12th floor pizza. I'll click on that, and then you can already start to see what it will look like when you set the site to have that look. So I'll click try it out. And you'll see what the site will look like. We want to keep it. We know what it's going to look like, so we'll say yes, keep it. And then there you go. It has a new style. So there's a lot of documentation about this out there already, but we just wanted to come up with a real simple way of showing you how to do that in the color palette tool. All right, now themes for new modern sites. The way you'll do these is you'll use the theme generator, which we'll add as a link to the description of the video. But within the theme generator, you can't do as much with the site and as much with the colors, but at least you still have options. So this is for your modern sites, your modern team sites, when you want to, if you're ready to start using those. So you can see here that there's a panel that you can start to adjust colors and see how controls and other elements on the page are going to start to look. So first there's the primary theme color, and we're going to use our dark blue for that. So I just change the hex value to what our dark blue is. And then you just click off of it. It's already updated everything below. you can see here that it started to change the elements that are on the page. And then we're going to focus on just the neutral lighter alt value, which is going to be our accent color along the site. And if you feel adventurous, you can just start playing with a lot of other things, but that's what we're going to focus on. Now, there's different ways to apply this style, so we're going to use the PowerShell. You can use the other options, but we're going to focus on PowerShell. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect to the SPO service through PowerShell. So we have to connect to our admin site. There's lots of instructions online how to why you have to connect, and you'll be prompted with credentials. But once you do, you can paste in the custom theme JSON definition that the theme generator came up with, and then you can add that theme to your SharePoint Online tenant. So you can see I'm just running the command now for adding that theme to the tenant. So that's going to actually start to be available across all of the modern sites. Okay, so it's already run. It runs very quickly. So now when I go back to my modern site, I'll be able to apply that theme. First, I'm going to change the title of the site to keep it consistent with the first demo. And then here you can change the site name. I'll change this. One thing I've noticed is when keying in a new site name is that verifying spinner runs for a while. I'm not sure why that does that, but it will eventually come back for you. So once it does, we'll just wait here for a second. We'll click save, and then that will change the site name. Okay, so you see it's changed there. Once that's done, let's go ahead and change the look of our site. So click on the gear, change the look, and you'll notice that that look is already in the panel because we've run that PowerShell script. So we'll select it there. It's already changed on the side, so you can start to see what it will look like. So you can see the dark blues and the accent orange across the site. So we're going to apply it. Notice the hovering changes it to the orange. But one thing we've noticed is that the top sweep bar doesn't change. And I think that's an issue that still hasn't been addressed, but it's basically inheriting from the Office 365 dashboard, so it doesn't actually change it. If you want more control, just go back to change the look, and then you can change it using the classic mode option. So you can see here, you can go in and do it here as well, based on the classic way that it was done if you want more control. Well, that's our site.
All right, so that's it. Hopefully you have a good understanding of how to apply a theme to a classic site and a modern site now. And we know that SharePoint Online is changing all the time, but at least this will give you a good fundamental understanding